Hey everyone, GXVL here with a brand new Dragon Ball discussion that is long awaited and still technically speaking on how Dragon Ball was invented in a certain extent, okay? I say this because I am talking about manga theater yet again, but instead of like just not showing the book like I did the last time, I will be showing the book in some areas here, okay? So that way you can bear with me and pay attention, and especially that I've only talked about Wonder Island 1 and 2. And I had to look up on my old video about it. And not gonna lie, I think those words and thoughts still hold up today. That when how I thought about Wonder Islands 1 and 2, I thought they were just okay or decent, and I then got chuckles out of them. However, when looking into Tomato, the cutesy gumshoe, and Pola and Roid, I think this is where Akira Toriyama is like his own brain is about to operate to the fullest and about to shine. I really like that. I'm not kidding, because I do recognize some of the jokes, and especially a little bit more of his love for like high-tech space crafts and vehicles. So I really love that. I really love seeing that. But what I noticed from watching my old video though is that I mentioned Dr. Slump at the end. So I mentioned that, and I'm gonna read you guys this of what Akira Toriyama said, okay? And it's right here. All right, so bear with me where I'm gonna be reading. When I drew Wonder Island 2 and Tomato the cutesy gumshoe, all right, so this is like back when I made this, like his rookie days, all right? Just to bear with me. Some after Wonder Island and Wonder Island 2 was published in a Shonen Jump bonus issue. So, how it go this time? Frankly, it's a flop. That's what the publisher said. I always planned on quitting manga after getting paid, but my stubbornness wouldn't let me. And so for about a year, I just kept on drawing one failed story after another, about 500 or so. Oh, a lot. Yeesh. During this year, one of my works, today's highlight, Island, was published in another bonus issue of Jump, but it failed to catch anyone's attention. I think they might print it in the second book in this series. Even so, I wasn't discouraged, and I learned quite a lot that year, while even having some fun. My bad. After that, Mr. Toriyama told me to draw a manga with a female lead, and I did with hesitation. Yeah, so Akira Toriyama was very hesitant on coming up with a female lead story. So when working on the likes of Tomato the Cutesy Gumshoe, in which I thought the story was actually not that bad by any means, but I'm not gonna call it like really good either. So it's at least above decent is what I would say. It may not make sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me. And it's above decent, and it has like a lot of charm. It has that Akira Toriyama jokiness. And what I want to pinpoint here is this dude. He goes by the name Slump. He may not look like Dr. Slump, but what I want to go with this weird headcanon and theory on how why Akira Toriyama keeps on reusing these character designs instead of coming up with some brand new ones is that, hey, you know what? They're actually actors trying to portray as other characters. Case in point, when looking at the likes of the Gora, and especially in Sandland, which I have not read yet, but that Sandland thing is having like big projects incoming, such as like either an anime web movie, or it's gonna be a anime web series and also a video game, right? And you get to see a very powerful demon that just looks straight up like Deborah. So what if that's really Deborah in Sandland trying to portray as a different character in some extent, with a different name? And I would like to think that this young looking Slump does age a lot over the years and becomes Dr. Slump for that story. And heck, when saying this, there's this little panel right here at the end of where I'm about to finish reading that has a Raleigh by saying this: the result Tomato the Cutesy Gumshoe seemed to catch some attention. That's a good thing, at least. This encouraged me, so I tried making another manga with a female lead, and that became Dr. Slump. That's what I'm trying to get at. So just having this weird, fascinating idea that these actors that Akira Toriyama came up with are playing as other characters, or still trying to be like maybe a slightly different character in some capacity. I think that's a very fun way of thinking, but I'm not trying to like put that as like it's really official or canon or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it's just a really fun way of thinking right there, all right? And the other thing I do want to mention is let me see. Oh yes. So when it comes to this other story that is the likes of Pola and Roid, is where look at that particular outfit that this girl is wearing. Looks a little familiar. That kid Chi-Chi wore, or when Chi-Chi wore as a kid. So again, it makes sense how Dragon Ball came to be when looking into manga theater. This is why I'm putting this in the Dragon Ball discussion. So anyone who wants to question that, no, I'm gonna be putting that there, okay? So you even get to see this very strange looking teapot Death Star ship here. Not gonna lie, I really dig that, and I want to say this is kind of like a precursor to how not just Kid Chi-Chi's armor, but also of how Yamcha came to be, because this guy right here, he kind of reminds me of Yamcha in a certain extent. Aside from his hair, like I think it's his attitude, his personality before like being part of the of the Dragon Ball team or Z Fighters team, whatever you want to call it. Really cool stuff here, and of course this guy, he's kind of greedy, right? And last I checked, Yamcha, he's a bandit, right? So of course he wants some cash, he wants some of that dynamo capsule. So it makes sense here. Really makes sense here. Like, what if this guy is how Yamcha used to be, right? But anyways, yeah. So this guy, he runs a cab service to take people from place to place. He cares about like cute girls, but luckily someone easily convinced him, an ugly looking alien, like, hey, I'll give you all this money if you take me. And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? I changed my mind. Like, you don't have to be a sexy woman, right? Until a sexy woman did call him this one, right, that you saw from the page, and she was talking like a little bit seductively, and he's like, you know what, I'll get there then, I'll get there. Until he's like, man, you're younger than me. And I'm like, what, dude? Like, how exactly old is she? It's kind of hard for me to tell, because she kind of looks like maybe 18 or whatever, but hey, he's convinced it was like a chick near his age, but I think that's kind of weird, and she keeps on following him and whatever. But as far as I know, I thought the story was good, and you get to see Akira Toriyama's love for like spacecrafts. And not gonna lie, if you've seen the Akira Toriyama like Tori bots or whatever, these little fly things, I just feel like Akira Toriyama wanted to, like, if I didn't know any better, if this is how he originally came up with the Toribot in some capacity, or maybe he decided to just reuse his Toribot and try to like do some tweaking here and there, you know. But as far as I know it, like with both the Cutie Tomato and this other story with these two characters, I actually really like them a lot more than Wonder Island. I really do, and I'm looking forward to more stories that are not them, of course. Now, if you have read manga theater and are familiar with these stories, let me know in the comments below what you guys honestly think about all this. If not, then let's go kind of have some sort of discussion. If you want to have like put out your own theories and what you think when it comes to Akira Toriyama's earlier works. This has been JXBL signing off right now. Later. If you love and enjoy the content of my channel, please like and subscribe. If you are already a subscriber of mine, please check up on my community tabs for updates, especially for upcoming live streams, so we can have interactive discussions. Furthermore, check out my Newgrounds and or Pixiv profile pages to see my artwork archives. Negative and or positive feedbacks are welcome. but be warned that I do favorite artwork that is not suitable for all ages and come across as uncomfortable. Check out my blogs only on Newgrounds to be updated on my whereabouts and upcoming or in progress works. Lastly, please visit my Letterboxd page to read and see my written movie reviews rather than my videos, and see we can have a discussion there if you disagree with my takes. Welcome to the GXVLverse and stay tuned.